Hello, today I'm going to talk about the main concepts of phonetics and phonology subject. Let's begin. I'm Lidia Bañuelos. I'm from Guadalajara, Jalisco. I have been teaching English since 2006 to kids in elementary grades. I'm always interested about new digital tools to encourage my kids to learn English as a second language. I really enjoy connecting with kids this age because we play, we sing, we dance, we act, and we have fun together at the same time we learn English. Teaching pronunciation. I'm going to talk about teaching pronunciation. Teaching pronunciation covers a language activity. It means reading, writing, listening, and speaking. It means pronunciation applies to all four skills. Pronunciation is not just part of speaking aloud. Pronunciation is active whenever the inner voice is active. When rehearsing a phrase internally, when writing, and even when thinking and remembering a phone number or remembering an address. Pronunciation is active even when reading silently either a book or even the subtitles in a movie. Main concepts in this subject are phonetics, phonology, and phonetics. And I'm going to explain these concepts. Phonetics is the description and classification of speech sounds, particularly how sounds are produced, transmitted, and received. Phonology is the study of the speech sounds used in a particular language. Phoneme is the smallest unit in the sound system of a language. For example, the T sound in the word top. The articulators. All the sounds when we speak are the result of muscles contracting. Different language use different muscle settings in a vocal tract. This configuration modifies an airstream to produce the sounds of speech. The larynx has several important functions. Vocal cords or vocal folds are inside. These folds can move together or move apart in the glottis. Ranges of sounds. Wide apart, narrow glottis, position for vocal float vibration entirely closed. Articulators above the larynx. The main articulators are the tongue, the upper lip, the lower tip, the upper teeth, the upper gum ridge or alveolar ridge, the hard palate, the velum, the uvula, the pharyngeal wall, and the glottis. We can see here this diagram, and we can see those articulators, okay? Palate or cavity, pharynx, glottis, larynx opening into pharynx, esophagus, larynx, the tongue, the lips, the jaw. The pharynx is the back of the mouth and the nasal cavity. The velum allows air to pass through the nose or through the mouth. The hard palate, post-alveolar from their position, the alveolar ridge, something you can feel with your tongue. The tongue has a tip, a blade, a front, a back, and a root. The teeth makes the dental sounds. The lips, bilabial or labiodental. Respiration and voicing. We make obstructions or structure to modify sound. If the vocal folds vibrate, the sound produced is voicing or phonation. It has intensity, frequency, and quality. Okay? We saw the vowel system, and this is my map about the vowel system. Okay, in the vowel system, we saw that a vowel is any sound with no audible noise produced by constriction in the vocal tract. And we saw There are three types of vowels: short, long, and diphthongs. Diphthongs. And diphthongs are a combination of two phonemes, where the first phoneme is said to be stronger than the second, and they are centering and closing. And the vowels are classified according to the position of the tongue and lips. And we have closed and open vowels. And we saw this about the primary cardinal vowels. And so the front and back, close and open. And we talk about the schwa, and the weakness in the vowel system. The meaning of weakness, the potential for reduction, assimilation, and elision. We talk about or we learn about the consonantal system too. Consonants are sounds in which the air stream meets some obstacles in the mouth on its way up from the lungs, as we learned earlier. Most consonants are not as smooth sounding as vowels. They pop, hiss, snap, or jump. Phonologists classify consonants by describing these three factors: the state of glottis or voicing, the place of articulation, and the manner of articulation. Voicing: when the vocal cords are stretched tight so that they vibrate during the pronunciation of a sound, we say that the sound is voiced. Sounds that are produced without vibration of the vocal cords are called voiceless. To tell if a sound is voiced or voiceless, touch your throat gently as you say it. When you say a voiced sound, you can feel a vibration or buzzing in your throat. For a voiceless sound, you can't. You can feel that. Place of articulation refers to the parts of the articulatory system that are active when we produce each sound. And we have the places, okay, the places of where the sound is produced, for example, bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, alveolar, palatal, velar, glottal, okay, and you can see this chart to see the places of articulation. Manner of articulation. This tells how we produce a particular consonant sound, whether it comes out smoothly or roughly, whether it's like a pop or a hiss or a hum. The manners of articulation for English consonants are plosives, fricatives, affricates, nasals, liquids, and glides. We saw all of this. Okay. Another important thing we saw in this subject was the phonemic chart. The phonemic chart is a set of symbols that represent all the sounds in spoken English. Phonemic charts are useful for learning English pronunciation because the spelling of a word in English doesn't always tell us how it is going to sound. If we write them using the symbols from the phonetic chart, we can clearly show how a word sounds. That's why so many dictionaries have phonemic transcription of words next to them. The phonemic chart is also useful for practicing pronunciation because it enables you to visualize the individual sounds you are having trouble with in English and practice those sounds accurately. Let me show you the phonemic chart obtaining in teaching English. And you can see the vowels, diphthongs, consonants. I think this material you can learn a lot, and you can use this material to learn the correct pronunciation of the words, the correct pronunciation of the vocabulary in English. It is useful and it is important to see in an extended way or an extensive way, not just in this subject, and keep practicing and continue looking for these sounds and practice and touching the throat and discover the vowels and discover the sounds. It is very interesting. We talk about the connected speech. Connected speech are the processes that sounds undergo when their border sounds are blended with neighboring sounds. Citation from pronunciations occur in isolated words under heavy stress or in sentences delivered in a slow, careful style. By contrast, connected speech forms often undergo a variety of modifications which cannot always be predicted by applying phonological rules. We talk about assimilation, intrusion, elision, rhythm, linking, and we talk about pitch and tone, and we saw the similarities and the differences between them. For example, pitch, the sharpness of the voice, refers to the highness and lowness of voice. It is determined by the frequency of vibration of the vocal cords. Its utilization, it's not an R, it's a T. And speech includes tone and intonation. And we saw the levels, 4 levels of pitch. We saw about the tone refers to the pitch variation related to short stretches of speech. It enables us to marry stress and intonation. And we saw the variables rise, fall, and fall, rise. And we saw the similarities between pitch and tone. Both are used for music and voice. Both terms discuss the highness and lowness of voice, and we discovered this intonation. And talking about teaching pronunciation, the principles of teaching pronunciations. Number 1, teaching pronunciation through teacher modeling and student imitating. Number 2, teaching pronunciation in the stream of speech and in context. The techniques for teaching pronunciation can be implicit or explicit, okay? And we talk about exposure, imitation, speech training, and practical phonetics. Teaching pronunciation could be segmental and suprasegmental features, can have segmental or suprasegmental features. When learning English, we will find 2 kinds of speech features: segmental features, which refer to sound units arranged in a sequential order, or it is about consonant and vowel. The suprasegmental features refer to stress, pitch, length, intonation, and other features that always accompany the production of segmental. The principal suprasegmentals are syllable, tone, stress, and intonation. Approaches to teaching pronunciation. An intuitive imitative approach is where the learner's ability to listen to and imitate the rhythms and sounds of the target language without the intervention of any explicit information. An analytic linguistic approach utilizes the information on tools to supplement listening, imitation, and production, informs the learner of and focuses attention on the sounds and rhythms, and complement the intuitive approach. Let me see the importance of teaching pronunciation. We talk about that, and this subject will help me to enhance my career. I think teaching English pronunciation is not only beneficial for aspects related with the pronunciation of sounds. It is important to encourage students' motivation to participate in English lessons and practice the target sounds through games and interactive tasks. Okay, it's really fun and it's really interesting to learn about this subject. Okay, thanks for everything. Thanks for seeing me. See you the next. Have a nice day.